Yeah, gluing models together. How you doing, Fragger? Alright, seems like we're about ready to start, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, yeah, let's get this party started. Hey, Fragger. Hey, everybody else that might be here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick announcement on Excuse me, Discord. I don't know what's up with my body today. It's just like, yeah, you're gonna make sounds. It's not fun. But, yeah, today we're gonna be gluing some models. So, yesterday we effectively started and then finished building my Annihilation barge. It's a big tank thing. The gun comes off, thankfully, because, oh boy, painting this would be a pain in the ass otherwise. But once it's done being painted, I think I am going to glue it like so, because it does look dope as hell. But yeah, for now, it stays there. There's the option of adding a little railing there so we can have a barge that is for the command variety, but whatever. For now, it stays there. We're gonna paint it another time. We have to build a bunch of stuff first. So I'm gonna go ahead and just effectively copy, edit, copy, paste, and converting a lord. Boom. Yes, send it to everyone on Discord. Alright. Are you okay, washing machine? Are you fine? Okay. Just put this back. Voila. Just too many cables. Alright, so today we're converting a couple of lords. One of which will become Emotech the Stormlord. Of a sort. The other one, which will just be another dude that we'll have on hand if we need. Yep, we finished the tank, that wolf. Look at it. Isn't it pretty? Choo-choo. I think it's beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and put that down now. Okay, so far out of the box, the next couple of things that I want to build are the lords. The big important dudes. Very, very pretty. Good. Glad to hear it. So this will go for one of the overlords. These three are the scarabs, which we can probably easily do at the very end of the stream, if we've got time. This base is going to be for our Emotech the Stormlord conversion, I think. So I need to use these legs for it. But what do we have on here that we can maybe use? Okay. There are some interesting things we can do here. I don't want another Void Scythe, but... Hey, Fong, how's it going? Look at all them badges you got. Where's that back part coming? There's the head. I like the head. It's very tall and ostentatious. Arms. Why is there a thing for the back? Oh, because of the spinal cord. That makes sense. Alright, let's get out the parts that I know I'm going to want for this. Still have... Oh, Fong, thank you for the bits! I still have a bunch of extra parts here. From when I built my first batch of Lich Guard. And it's this is going to end up becoming probably the most important part of the conversion for us today. So, we're going to take out these staves. Again, carefully clip it. Now this one's a delicate one, so be safe. It's the only one-armed one that there is in the entire kit, so I don't want to mess this one up. Now, I have two pseudo options, but I really don't think I do at the end of the day. Do I? No, I do not have an option. The only option we have is to use these things here to create effectively a hand flamer, or something that could be passed off as a hand flamer. So, cut all those out. Perfect. So, now, I've got this staff part here for the right hand. For the left hand, I have this thing, which is meant for a variety of different things, but you know, it's meant to be like a sword, effectively. It's not a very sword-looking thing. It looks more like a shield, I'll be honest. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and, while we got the time, while we got the parts, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those anchor points. Just shave them down so they're nice and smooth, and you can get a good finish on your model. Now, I'm beginning to realize that this is just bad habit to do this all the time, because there are parts on this thing that we're not going to use. In fact, if we're going to make something called a Gauntlet of the Conflagrator, there's a high chance we don't use most of this. So, I'm going to put that to the side. We're going to do the shaving that we need to do on the staff. Now, the staff parts are super delicate. They're very thin plastic. And the plastic is durable-ish, but like, a child could bend this very easily. So, if a child could do it easily, so can you. Take care, my friends. Now, this is also one whole piece. It's not half of a bigger hole, which means that there's going to be mold lines on it. So we're going to go ahead and just quickly pass our knives over, or files if you've got one, and pass that over the mold lines. It's going to sound like a lobster for a minute there, but like, just go ahead and shave that down. Brilliant. Now we need a head. And lo and behold, we have several. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one out. And then clip. Now this is not a complicated conversion with a lot of green stuff and sculpting and everything. This is the world's simplest conversion. Just takes a little bit of patience because it's got a lot of little parts. And it's not as easy as just, oh, I want to swap heads. You know what I mean? Like, there are some conversions where you just swap a head and there's your conversion and it looks really good. You can do that with a lot of the Space Marines. In fact, you can actually use Primaris heads on regular Marines, and it looks pretty sweet. It's a little out of, you know, size, but it does the trick. You get some really neat heads that way. But then, for Necrons, in order to get some of the options that you'd want out of, like, you know, their HQs and stuff, you have to kind of work at it. There's a little bit of converting you have to do. Which isn't great. Which means that Necrons aren't necessarily friendly for brand new players, because you want to have a little bit of sculpting background, a little bit of converting under your belts before I think you get into it. There we go. Excuse me, what are you doing there? It's a little piece of plastic. I don't want you there. Get up. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and glue the staff together to become one great big stick. Now, as per usual with plastic glue, there's usually some residue at the end of it, like this garbage here. And the good news is that because GW plastic glue comes with a little metal spout, it's usually okay. So we're going to go ahead and apply the plastic glue. You maybe put it on too much, but that's okay. And then we're going to carefully put the two halves of the... You two don't go together. Is that what I'm coming here to believe? No, you two definitely go together. There we go. Alright, so there's still a little bit of work. The closer I look at this thing, I should probably just get better glasses. But when you look closely at certain objects, you can see some details. And you know what? Because this is, you know, a fairly important model in my army, I'm going to take the time... Get that out of here. I'm going to take the time to make sure that what is here looks pretty good. Okay. That'll do for now. Okay, now we have to kind of decide on the actual Lord itself. There are a variety of different ways we could go about making this model. We could use the Overlord sprue, which is this one, and give him a basic looking Overlord stance and everything. My problem with that is that I fear it'll make it look too much like my other Overlord. Even with changes to everything else. I need this to look a little bit more distinctive. But you know what? I don't think that that's going to be all that difficult to do. Like, if we convert this, it won't be too hard to turn into a conversion that I can be proud of, I don't think. And it will look distinctive enough. Oh. And that way I can just turn the other part of this into, like, a regular Lord. Oh, no. I'm turning you off. I'm sorry, phone. You're too noisy. Okay. Yeah. So, we have a couple of decisions to make. How simple do we want this guy to look? What does converting even mean? So, converting and kit bashing, as far as I understand them, roughly refers to the practice of taking bits and pieces from one kit and sticking them to other bits and pieces from a different kit to create a brand new kind of model altogether. One example I've got is this Tyrannid warrior, okay, who looks like a badass because he is one. That sword is 2 or 3 different pieces. The shoulder's different from the same sprue as the rest of the warrior. Let's see, the scything talon has been cut down to make it look more badass. This gun has 2 different gun parts together, and then in the middle I have some parts that are sculpted. So it doesn't look great, but it looks okay. This whip comes from a completely different metal kit. Like, this is metal. I had to pin that in there. Like, there's metal rods going in and out of this guy all over the place. So that's roughly what converting, what kit bashing is. Converting is taking a model and making it another one entirely. So, this guy is supposed to be a Tyrannid warrior, and when I was in high school, I converted him into a Broodlord, and then when I got back into stuff back in September, I converted him into a Lictor. So now he's a Lictor. So converting is taking a model and making it something completely different. Kit bashing is taking a bunch of kits and smashing them together to create something that those kits could make. If you end up smashing kits together and making something brand new out of them, that's a kit bash and a conversion. Does that make sense? So for today's purposes, we've got a staff here from the Lichguard and Triarch Praetorian kits, and one of the Hyperphase like sword things that the Triarch Praetorians use. And then I've got a Lord here. Now, I could take this Lord. I could easily put him on one of these bases, and I could make him look like an absolute badass. Hey, Cubed, how's it going? I'm not smashing kids. I'm smashing kits. The more I think about it, I think we need to name the model painting streams to Wolf's Belly Cam. Our favorites. Do they have... what do they do specifically? An introduction to Beer Gut? Oh... self-consciousness is a real thing now. You guys get to look at my face. From here on out, you just get to see my face. Okay. So. I'm sitting here. And I'm thinking. With the right pose... 5 out of 7 belly. If only I could take this guy's legs. I know what I want to do with this guy, though. It's going to be different. What do these Archon units do? Okay, so most of the units that we're trying to smash together today are called HQs. They're like the leaders of whatever group they're a part of. The one I'm currently obsessing over is meant to represent the leader of my entire Tomb World. He's a big deal. You know what, let's get all the pieces out. And then see what we can do with them afterwards. Because I know I want this head. And the point of all of these different bits and pieces is to create one of these leaders. One of these terrible, implacable evils that just plagues the galaxy through a need to either recreate its older dynasty, or in the case of my dynasty, you know, collect bits and pieces of it. They're historians in a weird way. That's all the bits and pieces from this sprue. This one's completed. Nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and chop it. Choppy. Chopping. There we go. So if this sprue's entirely done, we can put this in my done sprue pile, where I'm gonna end up putting all my stuff and eventually splicing them together to create wireframe buildings and stuff. Okay, so we got these different bits and pieces, we got these different bits and pieces, we got these different bits and pieces. There's not many left in here, so I might as well take them all out. Perfect. Just dump that there. I have a sore throat and it's annoying. Yeah, no doubt, my dude. Sore throat is one of the worst. Just because of how frustrating it can be. Okay, you know what? Ugly cut. There we go. I just want to see what pieces I have available to me and how they have to fit together. And then, at that point, whether or not I can fit them together in a way that makes them unique and interesting. Ugly cut. With Necrons, it's like necessary, my dudes. We're also going to see if we can't convert together the basics of some flayed ones. We aren't going to be able to put the skin or the cloaks on them yet, but that's almost a done sprue. Just a little bits here. Choppy. Chopping. Choppo. Perfect. That's another done sprue. Toss this back with the rest of them. The only thing an Archon does is dies the EMP shockwaves and kills Zerglings with splash damage. Yuck! I could not be able to do anything but follow the manual. The thing is, eventually you get good enough at following the manual that you're like, okay, this is cool, but I want to make this unit. And then the game's all like, yeah, but that's going to be like another $40. And you're like, I could make one of that. And that would not cost me $40. From all the pieces that I have left over. So that's the goal, anyway. So these two pieces have to go together to make the chest part. Oh, I don't think I can chop out the legs, though. How about, here, how's this? Nope, those two pieces go well together, too. I think those are the exact same front panels. One's more ceremonial than the other, though. It's worth mentioning. So this one is more ceremonial, but it does automatically fit and give me some extra arm bits that I need to use, apparently. It doesn't quite fit because of the arm parts. I'd have to carve those parts out. I'm not sure how comfortable I feel doing that right yet. I think we're done with this sprue here. Yeah, these sprues I don't think we need right now. We can maybe use them to make a war scythe later on, but oof. I destroyed and built it again? Cute, man. That's awesome. That's super cute. Every time I built something, I was like, aw, thanks, Lynn. I appreciate it. And also, hi. Okay. Let's go ahead and just... That went somewhere. Ow! That hurt. Okay. So we got these. Fine. It's going to fit in here pretty much exactly perfectly. Great. But that doesn't look awesome. The character I'm trying to make right now is a character called Imonek the Stormlord. Except for I'm going to be making my version of it and my name of it and all that stuff. My current Overlord character model is Nemesaur Yerath. He's going to be like the head leader, like the second in command of the Tomb World, effectively. But I do need a guy to be like, I am the Pharaoh. Oh dear. Stream, chat, what's going on? They're making a game for me? Lynn, that's awesome! That's super cute. Okay. I've thought about it. And it seems that if I work at it, like, here, let me show you. Here is how the Overlord model looks like when it's done being built and painted. Okay? It's pretty cool. It's a sweet looking model. But like, imagine having two of the exact same pose. So, belly cam. I'd like to do something similar, but the pose would need to be different. He's kind of looking up to his left hand. I'd like to have my character like looking down the length of his staff and being like, "You're toast." That would be sick. It looked like he knocked out, which would have been hilarious. Torval, why do you want me hurt so bad? Is it because I don't stream enough anymore? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just pondering at the moment. Okay, this is why I have this. Welcome to a converting and kit bashing staple. Putty. This stuff is going to help a lot with just trying to get a model set together. All we need to do is put the pieces out and then figure out from there what we want to do. There is a bit more converting I need to do. So this part here does not want to look like this anymore. Because now this currently looks like it could be a sword, you know? It's not what we want. We don't want a sword. Not at that hand, anyway. Oh, right. Over here. Hold on. Quick. We got a staff here that we desperately want to make sure that we ugly cut out. Because if we don't, oh my god, it's going to be a problem. Oof. Careful, my dude. There we go. This sprue's done for us for now. Put that to the side. And now we can just delicately and safely remove the rest of these bits and pieces without the model stressing against its own sprue. Beautiful. And now I've got a stick. I saw a conversion with this stick where they put it into the Overlord like cavity and used that as the arm, and it looked great. Like, I thought it looked awesome because it just like it kind of went behind him and it was all like, "Argh!" That's what I want. Problem is I can't use this arm specifically. I'd have to use the other arm to do that. And I have to wonder, is there actually a way to pose that arm differently? I have no idea. You bent a little weird. I'm not happy about that. You also bent weird. Stop that. Stop bending weird. You're plastic. You're not meant to bend weird. Okay. Let's take this out and put this in. that does work. Alright. Let's do it. My big bad overlord. This pains me too. This is such a cool looking weapon. Like, it's awesome. Like, this stream is quality entertainment. You know what, Cubed? You're right. It is. Thank you. Is this the only way to make it fit? If I do a little bit of carving, I could get this to look very different. Okay, so to do this conversion, we're going to take a look at this. The hand is just the hand. There's no wrist. So what we're going to need to do is very, very carefully we're going to move some things around here. To be able to fit this somewhere where I can use it. Preferably on a stable surface. So everyone, move aside. Also, this is junk now. I'm just gonna sweep the majority of these pieces that we want to use and everything onto this little thing here. 3, 2. Hold on. Please. 3, 2, 1. Good. What are you? You're a piece of junk. Okay, off you go. You two are also a piece of junk. I'm peeping you. Uh-oh. I see stomach and coffee, or is it tea? This is coffee, indeed. I like tea, but I think I like coffee better. Okay. So got a fairly... I was going to say stable surface, and then it moved. Got a fairly stable surface. I don't mind if this gets scratched up, so that's fine. This is the sharpest knife I own. Good stuff. Without a hitch. Okay, now we're also going to need to cut off the staff, unfortunately. This is going to have to go with the foot part. Automatically has to. So, I'm going to find the foot part. Where'd the foot part go? There it is. We're just going to glue the rock on. Okay, great. We now have a leg. And we've spared the war sites, so we can maybe reuse this later. So that knife is the sharpest tool in the shed? In mine, yes. And we do really like maple syrup, this is true, but everybody likes maple syrup. It's practically pure sugar. How could you not like it? So now we have this extra arm. Now, here's where we make the single most fragile part of the model. Dab some plastic glue on there. The wrong part of the model. There we go. Hold up. Now this does take some creative license. and a little bit of work. Currently, I'm trying to line up the forearm with the rest of the hand, so that way it looks like a normal-looking arm. Which it now does. Good for it. Which, now if I put this in its usual position... It's a bit of a stupid pose, honestly. Okay. I'm going to wait for this to cure before I start doing any more work with it, but I have a feeling that these arms are going to have to change a bit. Now, the other thing that's going to need to change is the pew-pew arm. How do you not rinse with water after drinking coffee? It's going to stain your teeth and your breath. You're not wrong, King of Nutshots.
And my breath smells wonderful.
Take that down, Kiff. The only thing stopping maple syrup from being a drink is yourself. Hey, you want to know what maple syrup's really great as? Mixer. Just take, a shot of whiskey or rye, and then just the rest of it, it's maple syrup that's been fresh made, so it's nice and smooth and not it's just actual liquidy. It's a good time. Now the other option is I chop the arms off of this thing. And then I use it on the front of this model here. Actually, hold on. That might not be necessary. Because I did ugly cuts! You fool! This is always why you prune and clean your miniatures as soon as you're done taking them out of the sprue. Because then you forget about doing it, and then, bits and, pieces stick out where they ought not to. Does this work? Almost. Now the bottom part's mush well. Back to the arms not mushing well. That's okay. Okay. We've got options, but... SlowWolf ASMR when?
I don't know, Kiff. You tell me when.
No, but seriously, I have no idea. I don't think that's the thing that would actually go well. I once saw this at the supermarket under imported goods at a very high price. So I was like, yeah, never mind. What is it even? So what it is you take a maple tree, and usually at a time of year when, the temperature goes below 0 at night and to about -5 to about +5 during the day. You then find a way to effectively cap a bunch of maple trees. So that way their sap gets collected in buckets. You then take the sap, you cook it, and what it does is it caramelizes all the sugar inside of the sap, and it creates maple syrup. And depending on how long you cook it, it gets thicker and denser and all that stuff. Okay, so this is cured by now. And there's mold lines on it. Oh, that scares me. There we go, just... Again, removing mold lines and all that stuff should have been done ahead of time. This is my impatience getting the better of me is what this is. Lovely. Freezing cold. It's not that cold, RP. It's fine. -5 and +5 are pretty regular temperatures as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Still busy making choices here when really there's obvious choices to be made. This here is the face of a regular lord. But I really like this conversion. Like, using this piece to do a conversion is one of the things I want. Because Staves of Light are, like, not great weapons, but they are handy to have as another ranged alternative to everything else. It's good to have a shooting phase with a character that actually has a ballistic skill of 2+. So... There we go. 1 Kelvin. Below 0 is the definition of freezing, goddammit. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's, you know, not figuratively the worst cold you've ever experienced. It's pretty tame. 0's easy to deal with. You put on a coat. You eat some thicker food. Done. Have a hot chocolate. Gotta love Moonlighter's soundtrack. It's pretty sweet. Can you guys even hear it, by the way? I can turn it up if you can't, because like it's a really sweet soundtrack. I really want to use this for a conversion. A little bit? Okay, let's turn it up then. Because last time it was too loud. Nope, not Risk of Rain. Listen again. It's so good. Okay. I'm kind of torn by indecision right now. Because I've got one base that could be easily turned into an Overlord, and another one which is just going to be a regular Lord. Despite everything, I still really like Moonlighter. It's a good game. Not perfect, but good, and certainly very comfortable. So what I'm currently doing is removing mold lines and just anchor points from all the other pieces I'm using currently. I think I'm starting to get an idea of how I want this to go down. I probably would die in Canada. No. You're heading towards a snowstorm in a bit? Oh dear, Torval. Please be safe. I know you always are, but please be safe. Let's just look with the spinal column in place. Okay. Hold on. SlowWolf, make a rhyme for us. I'll make a rhyme once I've got the time, but at the moment the Necron Codex beckons me, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. There we go. The page I wanted to see. Emotech, the Stormlord, Pharaon of the Sautek Dynasty. Okay, what does this model look like? Okay, decided. I know which head I'm using. It took a little while. Do they bone storm? But with like a little. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. So this is gonna be the head of the guy. I'm just gonna have to paint him well enough that he looks ornate. It's gonna have to be the ticket, I think. Hey, Sweetie Cat, thank you very much for the follow. Super appreciated. Hope you're enjoying your time here. So, we're using this sprue to do my big overlord. And we'll use this to create just a smaller overlord with a different staff. You're technically a mad scientist putting together these undead creatures? Apparently. Yep, there was a follow. 3 minutes ago. Okay. I just don't think that on this scene I've got the follows and everything set up. Not that it matters much. Okay, so let's go ahead and snip out the rest of the Overlord's body then. Now that we know what we're working with. We are going to have to do some more conversion work, though. We're not done. The staff that I want to use... The staff that I want to use is, we're just going to, yeah, ugly cut that one. Ugly cut this one, too. Just do it. There we go. Staff that I want to use is not going to fit on the arm properly. And so as a result, we're going to have to play it pretty safe. Okay, and we're getting rid of mold lines as well. As always, mold lines must go. Clean them off. Use a small file, or if you're feeling confident with a blade, use that. But all mold lines must go. Now, unlike last time that I built one of these, I'm not going to just build all of it at once. Piece by piece, making your skeleton... Wrong piece! Try spelling that one more time. As the teacher, I have to let you know that you've spelled that wrong. What if I use this Zweihander to cut because I'm confident with it? I don't think anybody is that delicate cutting with this Zweihander, but if you are, you know what? You do you, pal. You do you. Again, just chopping down the anchor points, smoothing out the rougher patches that come through the molding process, because as good as the guys at GW are at making, the folks at GW actually are at making these miniatures and putting them onto a 3D sprue and all that other stuff, there's going to be imperfections all the time. You're a teacher? That's cool. Yay! And I wasn't a gym teacher. I was a French and English and math and everything except for music teacher. So this part we're putting together. Glue time. Glue, please. So I'm currently using the flat of the blade, so the non-sharp part, to try to scrape away the extra gunk that's built up on the end of the nozzle. There we go. And now the nozzle's actually doing its thing. What a time to be alive. Before we put that part in, though, I almost forgot about the neck. This model I've built before, so I know roughly what I'm doing and how to do it. And what parts to put together before building. Before painting, I mean. And then what parts we need to stick together after in order to paint them properly. This is going to be a staged assembly, if that makes any sense. So in goes the neck. And then that. Perfect. That can cure and I'll be quite pleased. Now he's an Awesome Knots teacher. Yeah, make sure you get the neck. Otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Now, I'm going to want him to look the other way. Is there a way to get him to do his arm like this? Or like this? Currently the model wants me to do this. Which, needless to say won't work. Because there's going to be a leg in the way. I'm beginning to realize this leg doesn't want to do what it wants to do either. It's trying to do the can. Like everywhere. What the fuck's up? What's up with you, bud? Can you do the can you do the can you do the I swear it's funny. They do have necks. They are practically a human skeleton. We need to clear off all this stuff anyway. Necrons, there you go. See, it's in the name. Cubes has been paying attention in class. Perfect 5 out of 7 on your exam. Might be worth just gluing this to the base I want to use. And then seeing how this flatly lines up with it. There we go. There's the connection point. I'm confused. Model, why are you doing this to me? Ah, small problem. Oh, the fumes are kicking in now. Okay, so his legs are down. Happy spring. Finagling. I appreciate the happy finagling. Yeah, he's got his legs down. Even his butt looks good. Okay. That said, the only other pair of legs that we've got are these ones. And they will go on the other base, no problem. So we'll do that. Gluey, gluey. Whoa, whoa, banana, banana. Yeah, 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 yeah. I said gluey, gluey. Why are your legs all screwy, dude? You're a Necron. You don't dance. You don't have fancy feet. No, you can barely walk. What the hell's wrong with you? Suppose that that's the way that this one goes. Okay, he's got his feet down. I thought my keyboard had died. Oh, that's the worst. Good times. You run out of air real fast trying to sing along with the arpeggios, but it's a good time. Alright, so there's another chess piece. Here's the chess piece that goes with it. Let's go ahead and clean it up a little. Now, once we've got this part cleaned up and attached, we're gonna actually have to get to the hard part, which is finagling with the arm already attached to this body, so he's got like his arm doing this, so he's just like, ah, with his new spear that we've made. You know, this thing. And then that way I can have him looking down at it, and now he's just like this, and he has like his other arm doing this or something like that. That would be like, that'd be pretty cool. That's a very commanding pose. That's what I want for the Necron Lord of my dreams. Oh, what? Who's? Oh dear. Excuse me. This might be an important phone call.